Computer science is a science that focuses on the study of data structures and algorithms. We saw that algorithm is essentially a sequence of logically related instructions. So it is a sequence of logically related instructions to solve a computational problem. In fact, if you look at any algorithm is a function. So it is a function which is trying to map a set of all inputs to the desired output set. So you fix a problem, say search, we have got many different inputs. So input number 1, input number 2, input number 3 and so on. Input number 1 is an array followed by an element to be searched. And on the other side you have got two options, yes, no. If x is present in array 1, then we say it is mapped to yes. And for this instance it is no, then it is no. So some of the instances are mapped to yes and the rest all mapped to no. So algorithm is essentially a function trying to map a set of all inputs to the desired set of outputs. And we are interested in identifying the map. How exactly we should map I1 to yes, or say this instance to no. And determining the function or determining the map, that's precisely our procedure or algorithm. Let's look at a simple case study and say we want to find max in an integer array. The standard algorithm is, we say, let's assume the first element to be max, then we run a loop from say 2 to the length of the array, say n. Inside the loop we check if a of I, you are looking at in the current iteration I is 2, you are looking at the second element, you are checking is a of I greater than max, the one that you have stored before. If that's the case, you update max is set to a of I. Now when you go back in the next iteration, the element 3, a of 3 is compared with max. In case a of 3 is bigger than max, then max is set to a of I, and so you keep doing this. At the end of the iteration, when you come out of the for loop, you can say you return max. This will precisely contain the maximum element. So you see that this is an instruction, and this is an instruction, this is an instruction, and this instruction follows logically from this follows logically from this, and each one is interlinked. And it is a sequence of logically related instructions to solve this computational problem, which is to find max in an integer array. So remember, this is one way of finding max. I can also do this approach too. You sort array A, say in increasing order, and you return the last element, say a of n. So this is one way of one more way of doing this, and one can also do this third approach. What I do, there are n elements in an array. So a n by 2 plus 1. so on up to an. Let me find max for this, meaning find maximum in the first half of the array, find maximum in the second half of the array. Then compare these two maximum to return the ultimate maximum or the maximum for the given array. This is approach number 3. Like this one can discover more. So it turns out that a simple problem like max has got many approaches or many algorithms to solve the problem finding max. So for a given computational problem, if it is solvable, if it has a solution which can be obtained through some algorithm, then out of curiosity one can ask, are there more algorithms? Are there different way of solving the same problem? And how many different algorithms are there? So one can ask if the computational problem is solvable, meaning there exists an algorithm. If the computational problem is solvable, which means there exists an algorithm, then one can ask how many different solutions are possible. So how many different algos are possible, algorithms are possible. Now naturally when you have more than one way of solving a problem, we would be interested in picking the best. We would be interested in knowing which one is good, which one is better, which one is relatively better than the other, and so on. So which we shall see now, how to compare algorithms or what matrix one should look for to compare algorithms. So the computer science essentially focuses on the following. Given a set of computational problems, or given a computational problem, we are interested in knowing is it solvable, on the other side unsolvable. So solvable meaning there exists an algorithm or a mapping or a function to convert the set of all possible inputs to the desired set of outputs. So there exists an algorithm. When we say it is unsolvable, no algorithm exists. So given a computational problem, or you are given a set of computational problems, the study of the science in computer science focuses on, for each computational problem, is it solvable or unsolvable. By solvable, I mean there exists an algorithm which will convert for a given computational problem possible inputs to the desired set of outputs. If it is unsolvable, no algorithm exists. Okay, so keep this in mind. So as part of this course, at least for a while, we will focus on solvable problems, trying to discover algorithms and so on. So now that there exists an algorithm, we wish to know, are there more algorithms for the same problem? How many different algorithms are possible? That's one question. Then we ask, how do we compare algorithms? Why to pick the best? So, how to pick the best one? So, naturally, we bring a notion called efficiency. So, when we talk about algorithms or as part of the design of algorithms, we are interested in the following. First and foremost, the correctness. What do you mean by correctness? You have a problem and computational problem, and you have designed a strategy or an algorithm to solve it. Is the strategy doing the intended task? Is the strategy or approach or algorithm? So, is the strategy, approach, or algorithm designed performing the intended so is it performing the intended, is it doing the intended task? So which means the problem is, say, sorting on performing the strategy or approach or algorithm, are we getting the sorted sequence for a given input? If the problem is such, I pass a comma x as an input, suppose x is part of the array, is my approach or algorithm or strategy is returning s, and the element is not part of the array, is my algorithm returning no? And is it doing the task expected to do or perform? That's the first one. And the second one is, now that what you have designed is perfect, meaning it is doing the task expected out of the algorithm. Please note, it is essentially proof of correctness of the underlying algorithm. We make use of tricks, techniques that we have learned as part of discrete mathematics to show that the strategy that we have designed is indeed true. It is indeed doing the intended task. So this is a proof of correctness for the algorithm. The next one is, you have to measure the time. How to measure the time incurred or time spent? Similarly, the space occupied by the program or the algorithm. So this component, we call it as formally time complexity. This part is space complexity. So we wish to know, when we have a correct algorithm to solve a problem, how much time it takes to compute the expected output, how much time it takes to process the input, how much time it takes to map the given input to the desired output. In the process, For example, as part of the max algorithm, we used a variable called max to store a of 1. We also have an array to store n elements. Then we have a loop variable for I is equal to 1 to n and so on. So as part of the algorithm, we use space at multiple places. And we wish to know how much space we have consumed or occupied in your primary memory to compute or to solve a given computational problem. So we study the time incurred under the banner time complexity and the space occupied by an algorithm or a program under the banner space complexity. With this or with space complexity, I can compare algorithms. Say the first one is taking 10 milliseconds, another one is taking say 100 microseconds. Now you can compare which one is good, better, and so on. So to compare algorithms, we need this metric. Okay. Then we talk about something called optimality. So you have multiple ways or multiple approaches, multiple algorithms for the same problem. Which one I should pick? This will tell me. Time complexity analysis will tell me that there are 3 different algorithms for this problem. Time complexity of the first algorithm is say 10 microseconds, and time complexity of second algorithm is say 10 milliseconds. Time complexity of third one is say 100 microseconds. Now with this measure, one can identify which one actually takes the least. As part of optimality, we wish to know you have 3 different algorithms, and from this you say that A1 is say least. Okay. Now we ask, can we better A1? Meaning, is there an algorithm whose time is, it takes 10 microseconds, is strictly less than 10 microseconds? We keep asking. Suppose you find say some other algorithm A4 whose time is say 2 microseconds. Then we ask, and suppose we obtain A4 whose time is say 2 microseconds. Then we ask, is A4 best ever possible? Meaning, anything better than this one cannot. Meaning, asking for an algorithm whose time complexity is strictly less than 2 microseconds is not possible. That is optimal. This is the optimal algorithm. One cannot outperform A4. So optimality is something like this. So one cannot outperform A4. A4 is the best ever possible algorithm for this given problem. You keep designing algorithms for a given problem. So I design A1 and then A2, then A3, then A4, and at this point in time you ask, when you design this, you ask, is this efficient? When it is not, you ask for one more, whose time complexity is, say initially this was say 10 milliseconds, You ask, is this efficient? Answer is no. You have discovered one more algorithm whose time complexity is 100 microseconds. Then you ask, is this efficient? Answer is no. You have reduced it to say 10 microseconds. Then you have further improved this to microseconds. At this point in time, you ask, can I improve this further? When we know that through sophisticated mathematical proof techniques, we establish that this cannot be improved any further, which means this is best ever possible. When we say that this cannot be improved further, this is the ultimate algorithm for this given problem, which means A4 you can declare it as optimal algorithm for the given computational problem. So the study of optimality is interested in identifying the best ever possible algorithm. So the first part is you start with designing some algorithm. We just wanted to know, is it solvable or not. So we are okay with some algorithm. Then we get into a formal way of showing, yes, the algorithm is correct, it is indeed doing the intended task. Then we start asking, is there a different way of solving the same problem? How many different algorithms are possible and all that? Then you start discovering one after another. So a natural question out of curiosity, you ask, how do we compare algorithms? That's when we bring in the metric time or space. Then we discuss about something called time complexity and space complexity. As part of optimality study, you have say 5 different algorithms and it turns out that fifth one is least. We further ask, can I improve the fifth one and ask for something better than this? So as part of optimality study, we want to achieve the optimum, the ultimate algorithm for the given problem. Anything better than that is not possible. So what we shall do for next couple of lectures, we take case studies, we design multiple algorithms for the same problem, we talk about time complexity, space complexity, optimality and all that in detail by taking specific case studies. Now I have just given you the overview, we shall get into the details.